This is TNA, the new face of professional wrestling.
TNA Wrestling and the NWA Director of Authority, Dusty Rhodes, are proud to announce the main event for Against All Odds on Sunday, February the 13th. It will be Jeff Jarrett defending the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship against the challenge of the #1 contender, Kevin Nash.
I've defended this belt all over the world. New Zealand, Australia, Puerto Rico, Japan, all over the United States. Kevin has other things going on in his life. I wake up and I think about this belt 24/7, how to defend it, how to hold on to it.
The odds are definitely against him. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm a 5-time world champion. I'm probably the greatest world champion of all time. With that belt comes money and more money and more money. And like I said before, that's why I'm here. It's business.
You're both supposed to be the kings of wrestling. And Jeff, you are the self-proclaimed king of the mountain. Yes, it is. So what's that make Kev? Your queen?
If the shoe fits, wear it.
Maybe you got to worry about this size 16s. Maybe I stick it up your ass.
He told me. All press conferences have to be in with attention, huh? Kev, just wait for the 13th. Oh, yeah, back up. You're in Achilles heel here. Get your knee braces on, old man. Get your knee braces on. You keep grinning, sidekick.
Now, from Stage 21 at Universal Studios at Universal Orlando Resort, it's total non-stop action wrestling impact.
February the 13th is the date. Against All Odds is the mega pay-per-view event. Get ready for the showdown because it's going to be Jeff Jarrett versus Kevin Nash for the NWA World's Heavyweight title. Once again, everyone, from ringside, Mike TNA, joined by Don West. Don, we've been saying it for the past couple of months, and TNA just continues to deliver the knockout punch when it comes to these mega, epic 3-hour Sunday pay-per-view events. You remember the last 3, they've been incredibly off the charts. We've raised that bar. I think we're going to do it again. February the 13th, Against All Odds. It's going to be big. I mean, facing Jarrett and Nash for the world's title.
Well, they keep topping it, man. Like you said, victory road, turning point, final resolution. Now let's get going. Not only do we have Kevin Nash trying to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship for the first time in his career against Jeff Jarrett, we already know that Jeff Hardy is going to have to take on a miss. We already know that Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles are going to have a 30-minute Iron Man match. The most pinfalls or submissions in that time becomes the new or the current X-Division champion, depending on who wins.
And we already know that America's Most Wanted, Wildcat Chris Harris, Tennessee Cowboy James Storm, the 6-time NWA World Tag Team title holders, they're going to be defending their belts against All Odds. But what we don't know, who will be the challengers for AEW? And boy, are the teams lining up.
Well, I'll tell you something. We know one team that's dying to get a shot. It's the former tag team champions that are in the ring right now. Kid Cash and the man from Dallas, Lance Hoyt. They were tag team champions before. Cash seems focused now. He's got his partner back, and they won it again. But they've got to convince the Director of Authority, Dusty Rhodes, to get that shot. You've got Shane and Kazera. You've got the Naturals. You've got you've got Team Canada. You've got everybody wanting that shot at AMW.
All of our Impact broadcasts, as well as those mega pay-per-view events, available in both English and Spanish commentary. Press that SAP button on your remote to check out our Spanish broadcast team as we see. Oh, wow! Saving suicide dive right through the ropes.
I'll tell you something. I mean, he caught everybody off guard as Chris Sabin went flying through the ropes, and he got Kid Cash flush. And you can see Chris Sabin, one of the former X Division champion and one of the greatest athletes in TNA. And now he goes right for Lance Hoyt, and he catches him easily. Oh, man.
Went for the springboard move, caught in midair by Hoyt, and then he tossed him overhead with the fall-away slam.
You know, we've always said that Kid Cash and Lance Hoyt are the perfect combination of speed and strength, of size and agility. I mean, they know how to work together. They know how to use each other's strengths, and they're a great tag team.
Knife edge chop by Cash, knocks Sabin. Wow, across the ring and into the ropes. What an incredible performance by Chris Sabin, as well as Petey Williams and AJ Styles. Back at that Final Resolution pay-per-view, and watch the sunset flip on the one through. Kick on Sabin, no. Oh, Cash up, and then comes right back with a drop kick.
I'll tell you something, Kid Cash, love him or hate him, and just about everybody hates him. But he knows his way around the ring. He knows every dirty trick in the business. He knows when to catch you off guard. He knows how to use your weaknesses against you, and he is so talented when it comes to his wrestling ability.
You notice how Cash and Hoyt are cutting off the ring here. Pin attempt now on Sabin for a 2 count. Totally focusing their attack on Sabin and keeping Jeff Hardy at bay outside the ring.
Well, it's smart strategy. I mean, you want to wear somebody down, you want to keep him away from his partner, you want to pin him before the partner even has any chance to come in and exact out any frustration against you. And Kid Cash and Lance Hoyt doing as good as anybody.
You talked about Hardy facing the Monster Abyss February 13th against all odds.
Oh, man, Cash just killed him right there.
Pin? No, just a 2 count. Sabin kicks out miraculously. Yes, it will be Abyss and Hardy in a match where tables, ladders, and chairs are legal. What a wild situation last week on this broadcast when Abyss came out and took Jeff Hardy, press slammed him overhead, tossed him over the top rope, and threw a table on the arena floor here at the Impact Zone.
Well, I mean, Abyss has got the best of Hardy twice. He also did it in Final Resolution when he shocked the world. Wow, wait a minute. Speaking of strength, Chris Sabin showing his strength as he spins Cash around and gets him on the knee. Wonderful backbreaker.
Wind-up backbreaker. Pin attempt now by Sabin. Hoyt in to make the save.
I'll tell you what, that's what a tag team partner's got to do. But back on the Abyss, Jeff Hardy situation, Abyss comes out of Final Resolution. When Jeff Hardy's actually making a challenge to Jeff Jarrett, Abyss had other things in mind. He caught him then he caught him at Impact last week. Oh, and that's when Dusty Rhodes knew he had to step in and make that match and against all odds.
Wow, impactful move off the ropes by Cash. I think Cash and Sabin may have hit heads. Cash reeling as well as both men try to make their way towards their respective sides of the ring, towards their corners in the 6-sided ring to get the tag in to the fresher wrestler.
And Sabin gets the tag, and here comes the charismatic Enigma. Wait a minute! What? He hadn't even got in, and there's the Monster Abyss. So look at Hardy. He's not going to hold on. He's throwing him into the Spanish announce table. He's mad. He wants to get even.
Exacting some revenge. It's payback time for Hardy. It's double payback. Action in the ring. Sabin with the kick on Hoyt. Uh-oh, double underhook. Could it be the moneymaker?
It's 2-on-1 in the ring, though, right now. Sabin has got to deal with Cash and Hoyt, but it doesn't seem to matter to Sabin. As you can see right, wait a minute, the referee's distracted by Lance Hoyt. Oh, Sabin's got him pinned, but what's going on with Abyss and Hardy? They fought out of the building, I think, Mike.
Oh, big boot by Hoyt takes down Sabin, who now basically is in a handicap match.
Oh, absolutely. It's 2-on-1, and he doesn't have Jeff Hardy. Oh, that's
moneymaker.
1, 2, 3.
You're right, it's brutal.
You can't blame Hardy, though. He had no choice. He had to deal with Abyss.
What a way to kick off Impact. The victory for Kid Cash and his tag team partner, the big man from Dallas, Lance Hoyt. They won AFW. And welcome back, everyone, to the Impact Zone, Stage 21, Universal Resort, Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. And yes, we are at ringside. Mike Tenay and Don West. Don, get a load of this. Just handed this paper by Dusty Rhodes' secretary, Tracy. It's now official, that matchup, Abyss and Jeff Hardy, and against all odds, it's going to be called Full Metal Mayhem. Tables, ladders, chairs, anything metal is legal.
Well, just think about it. You've got ring posts, you've got steel steps, you've got the rails outside, you've got cameras. Anything that's not bolted down that's metal, they can use in that match.
But hold on 1 second. Is the camera in position? I understand we've got something going on in the back.
Benedict Arnold.
Hey, don't go there with me, man.
Or else what?
We had a deal for starters, and I didn't even agree to it anyway. You came running at me. So,
No,
hey.
the deal was if I didn't touch you, you didn't touch me. Next thing you know, you're dumping me out.
You stumble bumbled of your own
once again, it's all about DDP. It's me. No, man. You had an assignment. You blew it.
I didn't have
You
any
blew
assignment.
it.
Nobody gives me an assignment. First of all, he comes at me. He stumble bumbles, go over the top rope on his own.
stumble bumble,
You
no.
stumble bumbled.
You blew
The
it.
bottom line is,
blew it.
you know what?
What?
All great ones have always had someone that walked behind them, and that's a good job for you. So do
And
what
you're
you do
alone.
best.
And
That's
you're
right.
alone.
I'm a man who stands on his own 2 feet.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, to deal with you two jokers, nah.
I'm giving you
Over.
orders.
I'm telling you
Walk.
right now, you're about to get clipped.
Walk.
Hey.
Tell your story walking.
What do you think, Don? Little friction backstage involving DDP, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall.
Well, just think about the situation that happened at Final Resolution. DDP, Kevin Nash, one of those could have won that match and had a shot at Jeff Jarrett. Of course, Kevin Nash is blaming DDP, and Scott Hall's thinking Kevin Nash's side, and you can see DDP was having none of it.
And we are joined on color commentary by the man who, at Against All Odds, on Sunday, February the 13th, has an opportunity to do what he's yet to do in his TNA career, and that's win the X Division Championship. I'm speaking of the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. And Mr. Daniels, it's going to be you and the phenomenal AJ Styles in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Most falls in the 30 minutes, wins the bout, and wins or regains the X Division title.
Well, Mike, let me tell you this. It's just another example of Dusty Rhodes playing his favorites. He thinks giving me a 30-minute time limit, most falls in a match, is going to go against me. It's going to be a disadvantage for Christopher Daniels. Well, I'm going to prove to him and to the rest of the world that I should have that X Division belt around my waist.
Christopher Daniels, I got to ask you, as we see Chris Candido and Sonny Siaki square off here in the ring, I got to ask you this, though. What kind of a strategy will you go with in that match? 30 minutes. It's not like there's a 30-minute time limit. I mean, it's 30 minutes. You got to go no matter what. What is going to be your strategy with somebody in the condition that AJ Styles is in?
Have you missed my wrestling matches, Don West? Do I look like somebody who worries about how long I'm going to be in a wrestling ring wrestling? I could do 30 minutes standing on my head if I had to. So I'm not worried about the time limit. And understand this.
I just remember last week on Impact, you were hanging on for dear life there at the very end, and that was 10 minutes.
That looked like you were running out the clock.
Hey, AJ Styles had 10 minutes to beat me, and he couldn't do it, and that's the bottom line.
Are you concerned at all with keeping up with someone like AJ Styles for that full 30 minutes?
Look, Mike Tenay, I have more than twice the experience of AJ Styles. I have been around the world. Do you know how many different styles, how many different strategies I could use against AJ Styles in a 30-minute match? I mean, go listen to this. AJ Styles is the master of the Styles Clash, right?
True, of course.
Well, Christopher Daniels is the master of Angel's Wings, of Last Rites. I've got the best moonsault ever. I've got so many weapons that I can use against AJ Styles in 30 minutes, and I can beat him with any and all of those weapons.
That's quite a repertoire right there. I got to ask you one quick question. What will this X Division belt mean to you? It's something that's eluded you through the years. Wow. Siaki just Candido so high in the air. What would it mean to you, Christopher?
It's going to mean that the best wrestler in the X Division is finally going to represent this division the way he ought to. I should have that belt. I should have had that belt long ago. And I'm going to right the wrongs of past history at Against All Odds.
You know, it really is a completely different mindset. Don talked about it, completely different strategy in an Iron Man match as opposed to just a regular championship bout.
Not at all. You know, as long as you're wrestling, the goal is to put the man's shoulders to the mat. Just because you have to do it more than once or as many times as you can, it doesn't change the outcome.
I'll tell you what, did you see Chris Candido right there? He held Sonny Siaki up in the air, which seemed like 2 or 3 minutes, and the blood had to rush to Siaki's head, and then he just leveled him with the suplex. Siaki's in trouble in that ring.
What's that feeling like, Daniels, when he has you up there in that high vertical suplex, and like Don said, that blood is rushing to your head?
Well, Candido, who's always wrestled a fast style, he's deceptively strong, and he showed it against Sonny Siaki. Siaki's a big guy, and Candido held him up there like a bag of feathers.
I'll tell you what, a great comeback by Chris Candido here in the wrestling world and here at TNA. This guy has been impressive from the moment he's joined TNA, and here he is getting a shot. But Sonny Siaki, a former X Division champion, I know it's hard to believe the size that he is. This guy's got man skills, and he just gives it to Candido right there.
Well, it's like you've always said, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. And come against all odds, the sky's the limit for Christopher Daniels, because I will get the X Division belt from AJ Styles.
Candido able to get the boot up. Cross body block by Siaki, but Candido able to roll through. He's got his feet on the rope. Did he get it?
Didn't see it. The referee didn't see it.
That's the experience that I'm talking about. Candido showed it against Siaki, and I'm going to show it against Styles at the pay-per-view and against all odds.
February the 13th, you will get your shot at the X Division title. It will be Daniels and Styles. But now, let's check out what's going down at the office of the DOA, the Director of Authority, Dusty Rhodes.
There you go, Dream. There's your phone.
Oh, man. Cool, man. What's going on?
Not much.
You're doing a great job. I'm telling you, really. Hey, sit down. Hey, sit down. I want to know who you're bringing to TNA. I mean, next week, we got to come up with something. Now, both of you had a... Easy. Okay, who's first?
Let me call you Dream.
Okay.
Dream. Mr. Rhodes to you. Dream. As I was saying.
Okay, who you got?
You like big guys?
Well, yeah, I mean, wrestling.
Yeah, I got the two biggest, baddest wrestlers. You are gonna be so impressed.
Oh.
They are gonna win.
There you
Big,
go.
no, big. I got 6 feet, no 7. 8 feet guys. They're huge.
8 feet tall.
They're 8 feet tall. I know you like them big, Dusty. They're huge. You're gonna love them.
I want to tell you what, we got so much to do. I'm excited about next week, seeing these guys. You got assignment to do. You got work to do.
Yeah.
You need to go
I'll
and
do
get
it.
with
You
Mike
can
today
always
right
count
now.
on me.
Okay,
You know
very
that,
cool.
Dream.
I know it. Thank you, baby. It's cool. You got assignment too. Okay, that's
Yes.
very cool. Yeah.
Bye, Dusty.
Oh.
We are back in the impact zone. Interesting scenario that just unfolded involving the Director of Authority, Dusty Rhodes. Don, you'll recall it, Final Resolution. Johnny Fairplay was voted off TNA Island, so to speak. Tracy and Trinity, they remain with TNA, and now it sounds like they've got a big challenge ahead of them, upcoming it against all odds, courtesy of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Well, he gave him an assignment. Go out and find the best tag team that you can find. And both of them are coming back saying that they found big players in this business. I'm curious to see who they bring in.
Well, Final Resolution really was not a great night for Team Canada, if you think about it.
Oh.
Coach Scott D'Amore loves the power, loves the control that comes with the championship belt. But at Final Resolution a couple of weeks ago, lost the X Division title and lost the NWA Tag Team Championship.
All 3 gold belts that were in Team Canada's house are no longer. They are in the possession of America's Most Wanted and AJ Styles. And I'll tell you something, it's the guy in the ring, Johnny Devine, who's taking on the alpha male Monty Brown, somebody who is so close to winning the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And you know what? This might be good punishment for Devine. Because let's face it, it was his actions that cost Team Canada in that AMW match.
Preemptive strike here by Devine, and I think it's probably a good move.
Oh, yeah.
Shades of a hockey fight here, taking the ring jacket of Monty Brown, trying to pull it over his head, and then take advantage of him.
Well, I'll tell you what, he better take advantage of it quick. One thing about Monty Brown, though, the guy just needs to work out a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, just a bit, huh? The former National Football League linebacker, alpha male Monty Brown, in trouble here because of that pre-match attack by Devine, who's going to go high risk off the top.
Wow, look, nice move by Devine. He's taking advantage of the fact that Monty Brown might not be full 100% after the 2 matches that he had to do in Final Resolution. I mean, let's face it, he had to go through the triple threat elimination. And
Which he did, which he won.
He won it.
And how close against Jarrett.
Oh, man.
On the edge, on the verge of capturing that NWA World's Heavyweight title and realizing his dream.
He took two or three guitar shots. He took 2 or 3 strokes. He took hand grenades, machine guns. It seemed like everything but the kitchen sink he took. And he almost was victorious.
While complexion of this matchup has quickly turned in the favor of the alpha male, shoots him off into the ropes. Devine able to duck the clothesline.
Oh, look at the power right here of the alpha male Monty Brown. Oh, Johnny Devine took it. Wait a minute. Here comes Team Canada. Petey Williams up top.
Trying to distract it. Petey Williams
Look
on
at
the
that
mid-air.
strength.
Gonna take him out. Bobby Roode. Oh, Bobby Roode catches Petey Williams. Here comes Eric Young.
Bounce. He bounced him right outside of the ring. God, I would love to see him pounce that big load.
Scott D'Amore and the out. Wait a minute. Scott Hall.
What's he doing in there? Oh, he blindsides the alpha male, Monty Brown.
Cheap shots from behind by Scott Hall. Alpha male.
And there's Bobby Roode with another cheap shot.
He turned to Hall. He said, bring it on. He challenged him. But then again from behind, Bobby Roode takes him down.
Oh, look at this.
Now this is interesting.
Oh, come on. As you see right there, the double teamwork.
Kevin Nash looking on from ringside. Nash, Hall, and Team Canada.
What I'll tell you what, this business makes strange bedfellows, I'll tell you that. Holy cow, and now you see Team Canada, who just got pounced to death, putting the beat down on the alpha male.
And that beat down does continue. Coach D'Amore keeps the referees at bay. Look at this from the back, it's
DDP!
Diamond Dallas Page out to make the save. Team Canada, Hall and Nash drop down to the floor and regroup.
Well, we saw the respect of Monty Brown and DDP in Final Resolution, and it was nice to see DDP come out there to Monty Brown's aid. He was getting triple, quadruple, quintuple team.
When we return to Impact, I will talk with the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett.
This past Saturday night, Jeff Jarrett traveled to Seoul, South Korea to defend his NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Jarrett's victory in South Korea marks the fourth continent that Jarrett has successfully defended this title on. Traveling the world representing Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, Jeff Jarrett showed why the NWA Heavyweight title truly is a world championship.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Impact Zone. At this time, allow me to introduce to you the man who will defend the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship belt, February the 13th, and against all odds, against the challenge of Kevin Nash. He is the King of the Mountain. He is Jeff Jarrett.
Well, there he is, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. But you gotta wonder for how long, because then against all odds, he has to take on the 7-foot-tall, 300-plus pound Kevin Nash. But again, we've seen this King of the Mountain go through so many obstacles, so many different things. But this is going to be a big one because that's one title that Kevin Nash has never held. And I'm talking about the NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt. We saw Jarrett survive in Final Resolution against the alpha male Monty Brown, and the challenges just keep getting harder. We'll hear from Jeff Jarrett and Mike TNA in just a second. Well, Jeff Jarrett letting the crowd know he doesn't care how they feel about him. He is the King of the Mountain. Here we go. Mike TNA and Jeff Jarrett.
And figuratively, and this is saying a lot, the biggest challenge of your career, February the 13th, and against all odds, when you defend that NWA World's Heavyweight title belt against the challenge of Kevin Nash.
Let me tell you something, folks. They're not saying, we love you, Jeff. Let me put it to you that way.
Am I supposed to be intimidated by Kevin? Is that how it's supposed to be?
Are you?
Let me get something straight right off the bat, TNA. There's only one intimidator in TNA, and that's me. There's only one Planet Jarrett. There's only one King of the Mountain, and there's certainly only one NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Now, when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash came into TNA, they understood one thing, that I was the boss and that they were here to take orders from me. And somewhere along the way, Kevin forgot the pecking order going around.
Pecking order? You expect me, you expect these fans to believe that Kevin Nash, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Kevin Nash came to TNA to take orders from you?
Today, I'm the World Heavyweight Champion, and I expect a lot. And right now, I expect you to stand there and shut up and listen. Big Kev, listen up. Me and you go back to 1993. Long before either one of us became a World Heavyweight Champion. And now, you want to come into my world and go after my title, the most important heavyweight title in all of professional wrestling?
Wow, this crowd is getting on the world champ.
Chant all you want. It's my world, and you're living in Planet Jarrett. So sit there and shut up and listen to everything I have to say.
That'll win him over.
Kev, you said something at the press conference that's going to be the downfall of not just this match, but your career. You said this belt only meant more money to you. Well, you know what it means to me? It's my life. It's what makes blood pump through my body. It's my passion. It represents of being the very best at what we do. So, Kev, you want to be the funny man? You want to be the jokester? Well, the joke's going to be on you. Because at the pay-per-view, against all odds, how are you going to feel when I chop you down to size and hurt you? How many operations have you had on those bad knees? 20 combined? Kevin? I'll leave when I get good and ready to leave. And there ain't a darn thing any of you people can do about it. So, Kev, I'm gonna do one thing at the pay-per-view, and you better get your human bar stool of a sidekick buddy, Scott Hall, calling the ambulance. Because, Kev, I'm hurting you over principle. And I'm not just hurting you to send you home. I'm gonna finish you once and for all. Kevin Nash, welcome to my world. And Kev, welcome to the end of your career.
You heard it right there. Jeff Jarrett making the promise to Kevin Nash that he's going to end his career against all odds. Can he do it? We'll find out February 13th.
Ooh, AJ Styles, February 13th, against all odds. The entire wrestling world is dying to see one of the most grueling matches in our sport today. That is the Iron Man match between you, the Phenomenal One, and the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
It's about time. I knew this match was gonna happen. I knew it. I felt it. Fallen angel, Phenomenal One. We all knew it was gonna happen. You know, it had to happen. I know all about you. Christopher Daniels, I know the whole story about you. I know how good you are, and you proved it to everyone else at Impact. 10 minutes, you survived it. You did it, man. Who am I to argue? But you don't become a ring general by just having matches. It's surviving them. I've survived the world heavyweight title matches. I have survived the World Tag Team matches, and now I'm surviving the X Division title matches. That's what I do. I'm a survivor. So, you want me? You got me. 30-minute Iron Man match. All my sweat, all my blood, all my tears, all my energy. Maybe even the kitchen sink. Can you survive the 30-minute Iron Man match? Can you?
In the world of professional wrestling, what TNA has accomplished when it comes to 3-hour epic mega pay-per-view events, let's just say it's unparalleled. And TNA has the opportunity to do it again, and we hope you join us on Sunday, February the 13th, against all odds. We just heard from the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, talk about what looks to be on paper a classic matchup in the making. When I think of Styles, when I think of the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels one-on-one, Iron Man rules, most falls in 30 minutes, it might not get any better than that.
Oh, think about that when you think about AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, and you think about, of course, Kevin Nash and the World Championship Jarrett, Full Metal Mayhem, Jeff Hardy, the Monster Fist. It just keeps getting better and better. But there's Eric Watts, the great effort he had against Raven at Final Resolution, but it came with a price.
Scheduled for a tag team matchup here. Cassidy Riley and Eric Watts against the Naturals, but you're right, you can see the sling, the separated shoulder at the hands of Raven back at Final Resolution. There's no way that he's going to be able to wrestle here.
Well, if that's the case, wait a minute, someone's coming out. There he is!
Dustin Rhodes!
We saw Dustin Rhodes last week at Impact come to the rescue of Cassidy Riley when he was taking that Raven beat down. Raven trying to take out all of his anger on Cassidy Riley. But Dustin Rhodes was his savior that day.
Well, the word that I got was these two second-generation wrestlers. You just saw them on the screen for a second. Eric Watts and Dustin Rhodes. They really see something in this young kid, Cassidy Riley. Almost as if they're taking him under their wing, trying to advance his career. Maybe pass the torch along to this young kid and do anything within their power. And obviously, with Eric Watts sidelined because of the separated shoulder in the hands of Raven, Dustin Rhodes steps up to the plate to join Cassidy Riley against Chase Stevens and Andy Douglas.
What an arm drag, man. I'll tell you something. He just leveled Chase Stevens right there, and he gets Cassidy Riley in right away. But look at the hand of Cassidy Riley. Look at the hand right there. We saw Raven pulling on the finger. Last week at Impact. Looks like he broke them or just located them. They are broken.
They absolutely, 2 fingers. Raven broke, and that's why you see the hand. Pretty smart move here by the Naturals. Andy Douglas going to work on the hand that has 2 broken fingers, courtesy of Raven.
Oh, and you can see right there, you would think nothing less of the Naturals as you see Andy Douglas doing what you would expect, trying to stomp the fingers, trying to take advantage of a man's weakness.
Director of Authority Dusty Rhodes has made the matchup for Against All Odds. In addition to everything else we just talked about, it will be Raven going one-on-one against Dustin Rhodes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Raven, try picking on somebody that's ready for you. You can't go after Eric Watts because of separated shoulder. You can't go after Cassidy Riley, who you whipped on last week because you've already broken his fingers. He's not 100%. But Dustin Rhodes, he's got an answer for Raven, and he's going to get a piece of him against all odds. Look at these guys still working on the hand of Cassidy Riley.
You can almost sense the frustration last week as the Naturals now double team. Oh, come on. The frustration was so evident in Raven. Coming off the loss at Final Resolution to Eric Watts. Yes, he snapped post-match at the pay-per-view, but he was absolutely mental last week on Impact against Cassidy Riley.
I feel sorry for Cassidy Riley because he's taking this punishment because he wants to impress NWA TNA. He finally got a chance to come back here, and he wants to impress them, and that's why he's out there with the broken fingers. He shouldn't be in the ring at all. You got to admire his guts, his determination, his intestinal fortitude, but it's costing him. Oh, it's costing him dearly.
Now Douglas going to try and turn things over to Chase Stevens. Naturals just continue what has been a 2-on-1 beatdown. For the better part of the last couple of minutes, communication problems here with the Naturals.
Great move there by Cassidy Riley. That was survived. Wait a minute.
Did you hear that?
Raven gets leveled. Eric Watts with the garbage can it out. Dustin Rhodes is going after him. Holy cow. Right here.
It was just outside of camera range. Raven
Dustin Rhodes was preoccupied with Raven. He had no way he could help Cassidy Riley. Raven again comes out and foils, and man, you can see Dustin Rhodes mad, and look at him. Riley still getting beaten down by the Naturals.
Oh, that master manipulator, the master of the mind games, just Raven. He's so proud with what he's accomplished here. February 13th, against all odds, it will be Raven versus Dustin Rhodes. And welcome back, everyone, to the Impact Zone. Main event, six-man tag team matchup, and we are joined at the desk by the lead analyst for TNA, Mr. Jeff Hammond, who's going to be involved at our huge pay-per-view event February the 13th against all odds. That's right, you heard me right. NASCAR's Jeff Hammond, our lead analyst, part of the broadcast crew, along with myself, Mike TNA, and Don West, is going to be involved in a tag team match against these two individuals, Michael Shane and Kazarian. Don't let him get under your skin, Jeff.
That's exactly what started all this mess right now, Mike. I was trying to pay them a compliment. They don't know how to respect anybody, so I guess on the 13th of February, against all odds, they're going to find out. I'm going to show them respect it's all about.
And Jeff Hammond's tag team partner at Against All Odds. Well, you picked a great one.
Oh,
I know you've been working out with 3 Live Crew, but when it comes to being involved in a tag team match, you need someone with the experience of a BG James. Great call, Jeff.
Well, I mean, how can you look for better chemistry right now? I mean, did DG come over and put his arm around me and told me, he said, look, you need some help, you want some coaching, you come over to the boys here. We'll show you what it's all about. That's my pick crew.
I just want to let people know something. I don't know if they realize how determined Jeff Hammond is to be in that match. He's going to be in Daytona. You literally are going to have to catch a helicopter, get headed in here to make it in time for that match. It's incredible.
Don West, I'm going to be here come hell or high water. I can tell you that right now. There come my boys right now. The pit crew is coming up. 3 Live Crews in the ring. They're getting ready to show you guys. They won't quit.
They really won't. I mean, stay focused here, Jeff, to continue to mock you. Let's hear from K-Dog.
Yo, let me speak on this. Órale! Arriba la raza!
O-Town, as well as the rest of the viewing audience, welcome to the Crew's Crib, where you know we always kicking it live in 005. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, NWA TNA proudly brings to you its soon-to-be Tag Team Champions of the World. Not one, not two, but the 3 Live Crew.
You know, I think there are a lot of people that are under the impression that when Jeff Hammond steps into the ring at Against All Odds, that it's going to be his wrestling debut. But you'd only be half right. No, Jeff Hammond has never competed in a professional wrestling ring before. However, Jeff Hammond has competed in steer wrestling against 450-pound steers.
Mike, you pretty much summed it up. I'm not afraid of these guys because if you think about the fact I get on a horse, I back it in a box, come from 0 up to about 30 miles an hour, and I bail off on those steers running as fast as they can down those arenas, and I put what I consider the slam a jammer on them.
Well, you know what? BG James said it right about you, that you're a thrill seeker. Not only have you wrestled steers, I mean, you've been in cars traveling at over 200 miles an hour where one little mistake and it's over. And for them to think and disrespect you, I can understand your determination to let Shane Kazarian know that Against All Odds that you're not afraid of anything.
I'm not afraid of them, guys, and I'm doing it as much for us as I am anything else. They really kind of like disrespect all of us here at this table, and we're going to show them we're not afraid of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short commercial break. But when we return, we will have the continuation and the conclusion of this 6-man tag team main event on Impact. And we are back in the Impact Zone. Today, West and Hammond. Jeff Hammond, our lead analyst, who steps into the 6-sided ring. February the 13th and Against All Odds, Jeff Hammond and BG James of 3 Live Crew with the other members of 3 Live Crew in your corner against Michael Shane and Kazarian.
Jeff, I just wanted to ask you, I'm watching you as you're intently focusing on Michael Shane and Kazarian. Let me tell you something, they work so well together. You need to keep your eye on them because where there's one, there's two.
Well, Don, I've been trying to say it all along. I respect these guys. I know what they can do. And I realize right now that I am offering myself up for a big whooping if I'm not careful. But I'm taking notes right now. And come the 13th of February, I'm going to be taking a few names. It happens to be Shane and Kazarian. And with the help of BG and the rest of the 3 Live crew, I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to surprise the heck out of these guys.
You know, Shane and Kazarian, they just don't get it. They don't understand that, well, maybe once you referred to the X Division as a car wreck or a car crash. But you really were trying to talk in NASCAR terms about the excitement aspect of the X Division, and I think they just took it all wrong, Jeff.
I'll tell you what, that's what you're going to have to watch out, though, for. You saw what Kazarian did right there, and it cost Ron the True Killing. Keep your eye on stuff like that, Jeff.
Guys, I'm looking for you to kind of watch my back from this side when we come to ring on the 13th for sure against all odds. But we keep watching these guys work. We know how dangerous they are. They work so well together. Man, what a move. He just put on Ron right then. I mean, that's what I've got to worry about, is being able to counter those kind of moves in my limited amount of experience. But this is where the 3 Live crew, Conan, BG, and the Truth, they've been working with me day and night, telling me what I need to be watching for.
Don, have you noticed during this matchup just how focused Jeff Hammond is on the ring?
Oh, he's got to be.
And of course, he's had Kazarian and Shane down here at the broadcast table in his face a couple of times during this match. But Jeff Hammond is not missing a thing. He's taking notes as well. He's preparing a match strategy for Against All Odds.
I'm going to tell you, great move right there by the Truth as he does. And Kazarian catches Prime Diamond now.
That took out his own partner.
Your partner Against All Odds, BG James, is in the ring and let them have it.
Watch the crew get fired up. This is your crew, your pit crew, the 3 Live crew, Jeff.
They're getting ready to take 4 tires off of these boys right here and show them something. That's for sure. Come on, BG. Give it to him.
Wow, Kazarian puts on the brakes. Look at the clothesline by BG James. Doubles him over with the boot. Is he going to go pump handle?
Got him now.
Yes!
Powers him down. Pump handle.
Watch out, BG. Watch out, BG.
Oh, Michael Shea caught him when BG wasn't there. He throws the Truth out. I'm going to tell you something. You see Conan in the mess with Prime Time. It's going crazy right here. Oh!
Man, that ain't right. That's not right. The referee didn't see it, guys. It's not right.
Back of the referee.
It was totally a rip-off right there. And that's the kind of underhandedness that Kazarian and Shane bring to the table. They will cheat any way they can, Jeff.
The thing is, I know that can happen, but that's not right. I'm telling you right now, you can't have that kind of stuff. Not here in the TNA. That's not the way it's supposed to be done. Guys, I can't take this. I'm telling you right now, this is not right, Jeff. They do not.
Gotta stay focused.
No, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm not going to put up with this. No.
Wow, Jeff Hammond he just slammed it. He just slammed his head off.
Headed to the ring, trying to get the attention of referee Mike Posey.
Oh, he's trying to talk him into it, trying to explain what happened. Referee Mike Posey obviously didn't see it. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey,
right now.
Get your hands off of him. Shane and Kazarian. Coming right in.
The guy works out.
Wow. Hammond says, bring it on, boys. And look at this. Shane Kazarian in prime time backing up.
Any one of you, one-on-one. You can see right there. He's ready. He's ready. He'll do it right now. He's taking all the crap he's going to take. And you see Kazarian, you can see right now. Jeff Hammond is alive himself with his big crew, the 3 Live crew.
Get ready for Against All Odds. It's February the 13th. Yes, it's Jarrett and Nash, Sheriff Hardy and Abyss, add in Styles and Daniels, Raven and Dustin Rhodes, but also Jeff Hammond and BG James in a tag team match against Shane and Kazarian.
This has been a presentation of TNA Wrestling.